Okay, welcome back. We had to reboot the computer. We've been on a blackout since 5 o'clock this morning, and everything just went on again. There will be a video coming up having to do with kind of injecting yourself into the culture, kind of an acceptance thing, but a culture accepts you in different ways. But that's coming up on an upload after this show. Okay, all right, we got a live stream going here this morning. A little later than I want to put on, but as I said, we haven't had any power, just generator power, and the internet was off. So since 5 o'clock this morning, that's kind of part of living in the Philippines. Lots of surprises. So we're going to talk about here today is some quinky dinky stuff. Some quinky dinky stuff. It's amazing how things you learn and what a quinky dinky. Now, number one, everybody and their grandmother knows I got two different cases going on, right? Okay, you all know that. So my last hearing I had, who would ever heard of the plaintiff sitting down with the with the respondent's lawyer, having just a good old human-to-human conversation, talking about life, talking about this, talking about that, and to realize that the man's only doing his job, and he understands I have no aggression toward him because he's not representing me, but he's a really nice guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And, he's got a lot more background information than he ever, thought about his client. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think both the prosecutor and the... hold on. Let me put... okay, hold on, folks. Anyway, let me continue. Sorry about the interruption here. So let me continue. It's a coincidence. Now, as I said, everybody knows I got this other case. They love to talk about all the gossip and, if anybody has a legal case or this or that. And, people are human. I've actually sat down with the opposition attorney while waiting the last hearing. And 45 minutes. Knows a lot about me, and he knows there's no aggression toward him because he's not representing me. It's unheard of. It's really unheard of that this could even happen. But we sat down for 45 minutes, complimented me about my age. So we did say, well, they had a smoking thing. Most people don't live that long who smoked as long as you have. Well, that was one of the negative part of the conversation I didn't want to hear, but, it's part of life, and I'm still alive. And, other than that, he was, surprised I was my age. And we talked about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm not giving out all this information on here. There's still a trial going on. But I totally think he understands the gravity of the situation. I said I can't talk about the very details of the case in regards to that. But he does understand the gravity. I think both the prosecutor, who's acting as my lawyer, and his own lawyer, the respondent, certainly in favor of finding a solution with this. Because nobody wants. As it turned out, the what is his position? He's the master of a cyber evasive. Is going to be acting as one of our witnesses. I could certainly. And there's something very interesting about that too. He had an accident on the way down. He was okay. He got a little bruised up. He broke the mirror on. But he's going to be my total. Now, what's crazy about this whole thing? I'll tell you what's crazy about this. Number one, even the master sergeant from the cybercrime unit, who was in the room about 20 feet away, was kind of listening to me. He said, Frank, you're pretty smooth. I said, nothing to do with being smooth. He's a human. We're talking human to human. Outside of the case, maybe something that might be a little directed to the case, a little background information or something that I could share with the opposition. You got to be very careful what you say. But, I have a good way of talking, and, I think he understood me completely, and I think he understands his client a lot better. Let's just put it that way. I can't go into details on that. The funny thing about all this, happened. The judge in this particular happens. Not only does the judge live, but the man who's going to be one of the key witnesses, who did come to the last, put his signature. He's going to be a coinky dinky again. Now, I'm not making this shit up, okay? The judge's family knows him and they've been on some legal cases together, and the family knows him enough to have him over the house. I mean, I had no clue. Now, does that affect the outcome of this case? I can't say that. No, judge has to do his job. The respondent's attorney has to do his job, and I totally understand it. I told him I have no aggression against you. I told him, my own words. I said, you got to do what you got to do. You're not representing me. You're representing your client, the respondent. You're not representing as much as we had a little bit of a rapport. I think we had. No, I think we. And he ain't making judgment on me either, really. Not in the respect that you think. He doesn't think I'm a bad. You know. He even said his words, not my attorney. His words. Okay, But he got to go by the protocol of the case, and he has to cross-examine witnesses and stuff like that. He has to do what he has to do. But both parties, legal ends, prosecutor and that's representing me, and of course the how this works, the lawyer that's okay. They both agree that they wish they could find a way to just come to some agreement. So I'll end it right there. That's about where we're at. But it was an interesting last hearing that we had. Well, one of my witnesses had to go through all this shit, and they didn't even need him because the court schedule is so tight. They have like a rape case in there. This poor lady, well, I don't know, poor lady or not. She was an older lady. And I don't know, she broke some. The poor old lady has to spend 30 days in prison. This judge was not just handing out candy, okay? They agreed on pleading guilty on a lesser charge. And I've heard 4 cases. We had to wait a long time last hearing. I mean, a lot longer. I got up early in the morning, woke up about 1, then went back, got up about 3:30 in the morning to get prepared, to get a ferry that would leave at 5. Just incredible. Then we had several hours once I got to the area I needed to be before I had to sign in. But it don't matter about when you sign in, because if they could give you any time, doesn't mean you're going to be seen. We had to wait. Let's see, 3.5 hours, and I've been in it, and they called us in. Some of them weren't really fast, okay, and some of them dragged on. So you can imagine, I was in and out of that courtroom constantly, out in the. As it turned out, the respondent did not show up for the case that he had emerged, that he couldn't show up. Well, you got to understand, the guy's coming all the way from Dumaguete. I don't know what his excuse was, but whatever. He wasn't there. We showed up, along with my witness. But all the coinky dinkies that went on, only Frank could do something like this. I mean, I could sit down with you, because I do. You may mar my personality on here, but you don't. I do. And I could sing that song. He's got personality, whatever. I'm a very approachable person in real life, where I could sit down with 2 inches from him, sitting on a chair and just conversing about this and that and this and that, learning a little about me. I got a family and blah, 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 and, where I come from, all that stuff. I mean, human, professional stuff going on. There was some that I was able to talk about without screwing myself up or anything like that. I'm a little smarter than that. But he learned a lot about me. He learned a lot. And other than that, the conversation was, when does that happen? That hardly ever happens. That I could sit down with him, knowing that, he's not exactly representing me, and have a good old boy conversation with the guy. I mean, who could? Okay, and I wasn't trying to pull anything off. I mean, it's just me. I'm very approachable, and that's just who I am. So I have no aggression, and I told the guy, I have no aggression against you. I'm not mad at you for representing this individual. I said, not at all. I said, you're doing your job, and you'll continue to do your job as well as I have to do mine. It was that easy. It was that simple. That simple. that we're all human, man. Most of us are. Can't speak for everyone. Well, we're all human. We're all human. We got our drawbacks, we got our negatives, we got our positives. Man's just, and the prosecutor is just doing his job, and the judge is just. But it's funny how the community is a lot smaller than you think it is, and who knows each other and personally and everything else. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to have an outcome on the case. Oh no, I'm not stating that at all. I'm just talking about Coinky Dink. But basically, a case is based on the information by whether Republican Act laws were broken or they were not. Okay. Now, Coinky Dinky on all this? Yeah, it's quite a coincidence, I must say. Will it affect the outcome of my case? But I really feel that these people are professionals. I think they have to go by the justice system on what's right, what's wrong. And so that last hearing I had was a very interesting hearing. It was grueling because of the time. Now, I don't normally really want to talk about these cases on here. That's about as I said, let the justice system. I wanted to talk about Coinky Dinky stuff. How cool. And there's no information I'm giving out here that I couldn't give out at a public forum. That's stopping me or allowing me to, because we're humans. The two humans got together and talked like a professional and a layperson, sitting together and just talking about life, laughing. No opposition. We put the opposition aside. We talked as person to person and not legal counsel. Wow. It proves that you can do that. Even somebody in opposition. But there are sitting will not call for this, okay? And probably most people. Now, I never revealed anything that was so unenlightening or whatever to that. He might have learned a few things, but nothing that is going to be detrimental to the case. Two people talking, one to one. Imagine that. That could actually be done. Even, yeah, it could. And it did. Anyway, the last hearing I had was a very long. Lucky I provided food, at least, to eat. And, my witnesses, they pay for their own transportation. Okay, they pay for to get there. Everybody's responsible for their own. Except I did have breakfast early because we had to wait a couple of hours. So we went to McDonald's and I treated two of my witnesses to a breakfast, which was, I think, appropriate enough to do. Having to get up that late in the morning, at least treat them to a goddamn breakfast. So that was pretty cool. I got an upload coming up. Anyway, I guess the new conversation. Mr. Jordan's plea to me to drop. I don't know if I still have it. I just didn't upload it. I actually had a video, probably, but I could just condense that. Is that I don't believe them. And what he has said on here, and if you haven't read his community page, why don't I just read this shit? Simon Beach. Simon Beach. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you want to, I'd be happy to allow you to. I have no idea. I really. Okay. Simon Beach. Is that what you call them, Simon Beach? Okay, I want to get to this. And we're going to. Okay, this is from the famous. I don't know. Released a sign. I have no idea what this individual is talking about. Sign. All right, you're not making. You're writing, but you're not. Okay, so on his community page, this nonsense back and forth, as it took its toll on the both of us. I do not like you, and you do not like me. Put that aside, okay? My mother, listen to my mother. Wherever you heard stories like my mother and my uncle. Is that the uncle that's 7'8" tall? And my mother are both in a hospital. My mother has the walking flu. The walking flu? Is that like the walking pneumonia and the book or whatever? Matt's uncle, which is MT, I think he meant my uncle, is having a fluid tumor removed from his head. I need to be something, something. I need to be home. There's like a symbol. Drop the case, Frank. You'll never hear from me again. I will never come back to the Philippines, okay? I promise this. Okay, how much you have you heard these kind of stories? When have we heard this? He's not believable. The guy is not believable. He will not. And I don't think I could drop the charges anyway because it's going on a governmental level. Republican of the Philippines against him, even though I'm through a lawyer because the RA codes were broken. When the RA codes are broken, that's when, let's call it the state. That's when the state kind of takes over this kind of shit. So I really think that he needs to pay the price of what he did. Remember, wasn't just name calling, guys. This was some pretty heavy duty shit. And how long did it go on? Almost every show that he put on. You don't, I said this my 500th time, and you don't call anybody a child molester if they're. I don't think you even want to call a child molester a child molester. You don't harm somebody's reputation. Expect to get some liberty from that situation. Any one of you guys out there, if you would call that on public media, like I said, if you had a job, family, a house, a position in the community, that you could. So for some people that think I'm coming down, I implicitly disagree with you. I'm not. Look at it, not even one thumbs up. I got 24 people watching. How interesting is that? I suppose a blowjob is out of the question, folks, huh? You know what I mean by that. Anyway, I think Jerry, you must have liked that one. Okay, I'm sure Jerry liked that one. I suppose a blowjob is out of the question. With no thumbs up. Pardon me. I gotta stop. When I go on a roll, I go on. No, that's not forced laughter. I guarantee you that. Yeah, you're killing it, Frank. Killing. I don't know what I'm killing. I don't know. Killing myself a lot of ways. Smoking, a lot of different things, but I'm here because you're there. Remember? Yeah. I don't know why it always seems like it's so much opposition, but then this opposition turns into opportunity all the time. I mean, I'm not going to go over everything, but some of the opposition I've had on here, which you look at as being, turns into a lot of positives for me afterwards. I mean, I'm not going to go through the list of what's happened to me in the past few months, but I got to tell you, I've had nothing but good. All this opposition, I guess there is faith out there. I guess there is karma. There's something out in life. There must be. There has to be something. All the opposition I get turns into positives in my personal life. Figure out coincidences. Figure out. It's strange. Let's see. It's true than fiction. True than fiction. How's that one? Jerry, you're all over the place. I know you were on Big Kevin's show today. I did stop by. I was able to get some of that. Our power's been off since 5 o'clock, about 20, somewhere around there. So in regards to, in regards to, because he knows he's not going to be able to marry his girlfriend, and he knows that if everything continues on the plateau it's on now, that, I mean, he's approaching his 6th month on the 28th of this month in incarceration of one sort or another. No, he's still jail to me. If you got bars and you can't go in the streets, you can't leave. I'm sorry, but that's jail. You call it what you want. To me, that's jail. Call it what you want. But the period of time between now and when his arraignment is going to be, I couldn't tell you that. I don't have. I got as much information. Well, I won't discuss, but I what when the arraignment's going to be. But then you got to understand that look how long it's been dragged out with this BOGO case shit. Okay, well there was COVID involved, so. But with that being said, okay, he and for what I understand and what on the legalities is that if you're an immigration overstayer of that length of time, you've got a big price to pay. The fact is, he's been sitting in jail because of immigration, but you have to understand immigration that's forcing him to stay there because there was provided evidence, real evidence that proved him to be an undesirable. That's how he got in that jail cell because a lot of people get away a long time. No, yeah, it was a long time, 7.5 years. But he got away without paying his visa. Look, I got to pay it. He's got to pay it too. And you got to pay it if you're living in the Philippines. It's only right. So he's too busy drinking it up. There's no fucking it up, drinking it up, getting laid, not obeying the laws, thinking he was above the law. Nobody's above the law. I'm not above the law. You're not above the law. Nobody's above the law. We're all living in a foreign country if you're actually living here. And we got to obey the rules the best we possibly can. That's what you have to have money in your account, have a good fucking lawyer in case you need it. And that's how things swing out here, okay? If you get into trouble. Make sure you got the money for a damn good lawyer. Make sure you got the money for everything that you fucking need, okay? In case events like this come up. But in his case, the answer to his plea is hell no. You shouldn't even be using your goddamn. You're not at the fucking even at the detention center. Call it jail because that's what it fucking is. But you'll know what real jail is if they do transport you to Bickerton, which I know you don't want, but they might have to transport you. It might not necessarily be Bickerton, according to the venue. That's where the case is being held. Keep him there a little longer, or they might bring him over to a different location. I know there's been talk about it. Yes, there has. From an agent. Any more information beyond that? And I probably. So the way it works, you have to wait for an arraignment. God certainly is going to be in this. There is no ticket home. There is no free ticket home. He doesn't have the qualifications. He made a promise on that, like he made all promises that his SSI was gone. Can you help me? I'm in bad shape. Give donations to my PayPal and this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. Man, we've heard that too many times, folks. Nobody believes you. You're getting your SSI. There's no reason in the world that at this point in time that the SSI did. So that's, and I'm supposed to lay into him and, that's all right, pal. You ruined my reputation calling me a fucking child pervert. Fuck you. I'm not giving you the time of day, even in your fucking cell. You're talking. You're not even supposed to be using a fucking. The hell are you doing using the phone? Why did they take that shit away from you? And you got the cojones to go on in your jail cell and make comments on your channel that your girlfriend is running at the moment because you're trying to get a measly little shit from AdSense, like it's going to, and maybe an occasional PayPal that ain't going to do shit. And you're still behind, you jack-o'-lantern, behind fucking, you're talking, and you're asking me to drop the case. You're fucking out of your mind. Meet Barry J. MEET, Barry, and then the letter J. It'll show out as Real Talk Philippines. That's your answer. His girlfriend runs a channel now, and she does these something that you can't watch for more than 30 seconds. Cooking something up, or showing that she had a party, or just goes to the street scene for 60 seconds and shows the street scene. But Barry had ordered her to keep the channel going so he can try to get the PayPal donations and get people to come and watch. And all his community pages and every show, he's always putting his PayPal out so people can donate to him. Okay, so he's got his girl working. Ain't that something? She's still working for him. He's in jail. She's still. Oh, I remember a great when they were out drinking. The booze was flowing at a party his girlfriend was having. I could sure use a stiff. I could sure use a stiff one. I don't know if he's talking about the drink or something else. I don't know. I think he meant the drink. I could use a stiff drink. At this point, he said, "I'm sure." Unless I don't know if he's getting booze snuck into his cell. I don't know. Hey, 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 hey! Oh, the guy's going without alcohol for a half the year. And if he truly is trying to quit smoking, I commend him. But I don't buy it. The idiot on the won't buy all the bullshit that he pumps out. About that he wasn't eating this whole time he was on a diet. Think I bought that story? Fuck no. Neither did anybody else. But that's another guy that has. Well, maybe time will prove different. Nothing physical. Don't. But he's just as bad as the shithead that was in jail was running his mouth and got him in a whole lot of trouble. But when you're desperate for a human voice to talk to, you're going to knock out your show. Try to side with this guy and kiss ass of the big kahuna. Kiss ass. So try to get people to donate money to different channel. Same shit. Sending more money. Oh, they're good friends when you're paying into their membership that they offer on their channel. Oh, they love you to death. But the minute, oh man, they oh yeah, he was good friends with a lot of people on there. I'm talking about the island guy now. Because they were sending money to his. He's not getting the very guy that was helping him out, the Big E. Oh, it's all he told. Let me tell you something. Big E, I think he's messing with. Believe me, I stopped really talking about Big E. We had our moments. They're over. As far as and the insults of being thrown at Big E. Oh, I mean on a daily fucking level, just like with the insults that were going on every fucking day. All right, he's talking about his harem and talking about this and that, and you heard it all. That guy's got, I don't know what he's got. I don't know what kind of operation he had. I never heard. Look, dudes, in my lifetime, I've had count them, 3 hernia operations. 3. I had 2 of them were surgically and the other were laparoscopically. One of them. I don't know what they did down below on him. Maybe they cut his nuts off. I don't know. Has his voice been a little bit higher lately? But what is this thing about 6 months to recover from a hernia? Look, I'm an expert on hernia. I've had 3 motherfucking hernia operations, man. As I said, both regular surgically and one was back in. No, when was the last? That might have been. Even with surgical, you're up and with laparoscopic, it's like you go back to. I don't know what really happened. I have no idea, but it doesn't. So what? He's going to gain another set of balls in 6 months. He's going to face me somewhere. He's going to actually get a set of fucking testicles that he's. Losing weight doesn't mean you're great. Losing weight doesn't mean you have the faith. Losing weight doesn't mean you gain muscle. In fact, guy who just lives his. How's he living? I know. I'm even slightly older. I'm certainly better looking than he is. I got a better physique than he has. I actually have some muscle tone. He has none. Okay. I don't live in 11 by 11. That don't matter. It's bigger than 11 by 11. Let's put it that way. I don't live in with termites are eating up my floors and they're caving in and I'm falling through. I got to fix the floors all the time. And the walls are falling apart. They had to fix the wall. You're living better than me. You want to talk about that again? Oh, and I'm living in a swampland that nobody would ever live in my area. Nobody would ever live in my area. I got a desirable area. I'm a 12-minute walk from the fucking beach. I don't have to be on the beach. I'm there to I got a livable, clean, hygienic home with 3 CRs, 3 air conditioners, and I can afford to pay. Who's talking shit? But I got a view outside my shack and I can see. Well, if I stood on my roof. Oh, and what excuses are you making for your life, sir? What excuses are you making for the lifestyle? Sir, you know what? If I would have that you claim that you do, that's I think your position would not have to be leasing 125. Where you're going to supposedly build a fictitious hotel you've been talking about for 8 years, and you're living in a storage container that's falling apart, that's been repaired with wood, that's rotting with termites, cockroaches, and even rats. And you wonder your lady friend left as maybe just one reason. How could you even any human other than you to live? I mean, she must have had a desperate home situation going on that we don't know about because I couldn't see anybody voluntarily put them. So everything you say there, Island Man, I laugh at all the time. You're and you're trying to define me with psychological conditions. Uh, excuse me. Diving in the water with an Obama doll. I mean, should I go on with the list of the antics you do on your channel? That's real psychology going on there. That's not made. That's some real psychology going on there. And you're trying to label me with different, well, they call them axis, AXIS, but you have some different wording on there. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Well, if I'm so stupid and everything else, how did I wind up with my ducks in a row, have a beautiful house, have money coming in, have a lovely woman that you can't get? You couldn't even get near having a woman like mine. You can't even get near having a woman, period, unless you go buy her some vegetables at the produce stand, like you did with those 2 fucking girls you had over there. What do you want? What do you want? Do you like produce? We can go to the produce place. You like fruit? What kind of fruit you like? Here's a couple of shrimp in my bag. They were actually at the shrimp factory at the time. No dialogue here. Wonder why. At least I got rid of half the people. You're just making an ass of yourself. You've been making an ass of yourself for almost 8 things have a way of catching up to you, dude. Either Mother Nature's going to say because of the way you've treated your body all these fucking years and the extraordinary plaque that's built up in your arteries from being obese the best part of your fucking life, no matter what. You think that shit ain't going to. You're already at that end. You're either going to get renal failure, liver failure, certainly get heart failure because you have so many fucking. Come on, did you ever go for a CAT scan? You're too cheap to go for it. How about we make a bet? You like bets. It's just a gentleman's bet. Good. Go for a fucking MRI. Go check your carotid. Go check all your major arteries. And you tell me the result of that. Good. Go do it. You're a heart attack. You were walking around on a with a systolic over. Wake up and smell the fucking. Stop trying to act like what a tough guy you are. You're gonna beat my ass. You're in no position to beat anybody's ass. By the way, 2 old men shouldn't be fighting anyway. It's absurd. And I'm even saying that. It's absurd. Although it would be comical as shit. I've never actually witnessed 2 older men. Excuse me, older. I've seen an old man and I've seen the old man win the fight. Don't make judgment on people you don't know. You know what I'm all about. If I had to get into that situation, I think I'd be hell on wheels. I think I'd do the best job I possibly could. Even if I got to, I guarantee the other person would be damaged. That guarantee, unless they just knock me out right away and it's nights out. That's a different story. I'm not one of these guys that come on here like you do. Talking the reality of a situation. How do you know that I don't know a whole lot? How do you know that I can't defend myself, even at my... How do I know that? Even I don't know that. I mean, I know some things, but do I remember all of them? If I came into a situation on the street, would I be able to remember? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know until I get into a situation. It comes... I don't look forward to fighting anybody. You're not going to fight me, and I'm not going to fight you, sir. That's never going to happen. You're not going to get a lawsuit on me for that, like you did for Ricky. That's not going to happen. However, I will say, call you the graduate. You know everything, right? Mr. Graduate. You're never going to be in a situation. And if you raise any one of your arms or hands to me in a threatening position, let's see who hits the floor before the other guy. So stop talking bullshit, okay? We're all laughing at you, not with you. Okay? I got lunch. Anyway, I hope it's been an entertaining show for you. It's been quite informative. Thanks for the regulars who came along. Jerry, always there. Some people are hiding. They don't want to talk. They just want to spread the information, copy what I say, and use it on a show. Well, your day is going to come. Somebody's straight up to his community page. I am not going to drop the cases against you. And in fact, I'm not even sure I could, because the state, call it the state, takes over on the Republican Act violations. Okay. Yeah, you are fucked, dude. You are. But you did put yourself there. Okay? Come on, no excuses. And you continue to be an asshole all the way through. Even in incarceration, you're still making comments on your fucking show. You shouldn't even have that. Getting laid, having your woman coming over there and conjugal. And you're living in filthy conditions. Are you, for the girlfriend that you say you love, are you? I wouldn't fuck you if I was a woman. I wouldn't fuck you with somebody, somebody else's dick or whatever. I mean, I just fuck. You're a hygienic. Pay the price. Pay it well. Face up to what you need to face up to. Straighten up. Get your life. Thank you. I'll be right in. I smell it. Thank you very much. Thank you. She's got her hair done. We had somebody come over here, and I had my hair taken over. It's been a pretty good day, except for the blackout from 5 in the morning to how long I've been on. Yes, about right. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. And here's my goal of him. The goal. And I don't know. Should we call the other guy on the island a unicorn? Hey, I'm a learned person about hernias. I even got a hiatal hernia right now. A hiatal. And that sometimes is responsible for GERD every now and then. I know the healing time if he did it surgically or not. You're not telling me something else went on. Something went on down. Has his voice been